All right, so real quick, a lot of times people on here ask me like what my narcissism looks like from day to day, of how it affects me, of how I'm triggered, different things like that. So give you a real live example. Okay. I'll give you a real life example, like what just happened a couple minutes ago is my daughter came up from her nap. We were going to give her a cookie. I gave her a cookie. It was going to be a crumbly cookie. Set her up on her like stand near the counter and said like, eat the cookie up here because it's crumbly. And then like I walked away, I was in the living room. Well, she walks out to the living room with her cookie and she's like eating it, enjoying it and everything. And of course it like crumbles and it like falls all apart. It falls over the floor and she like starts crying, like wells up in tears, like is all emotional crying. She's 2, by the way, starts crying. And the first thought that I had in my head was like wanting to be frustrated and was wanting to have like that rage of like, well, if you listened to me in the first place, you would have stayed in your stand and you would have ate the cookie when it wouldn't have caused this. Like the first thought was like that type of like frustration, that type of like anger of like, well, you didn't listen to me to start off with, so don't be sad now. It's not the best way to respond, obviously. I didn't respond that way. My wife was like, she just probably wanted someone to be with her like in the kitchen while she was eating the cookie because otherwise she was alone. So I picked her up. I said, it's okay. I took her to the kitchen. I was like, hey, why don't we eat the cookie in here? Got her a glass of milk, sat down there and tried to interact with her while she was eating the cookie. She felt better, life was better, and she was able to eat her cookie. But just want to give you guys an example of sometimes like the everyday instances that happen that might trigger something in my head that I have to work on being very careful of how I respond or how I engage, because otherwise it's very easy to engage in a narcissistic way.